Those BART commuters are at it again. They're forcing black people to kick them, assault them, steal their cell phones willy-nilly, all because the BART commuters aren't paying attention, all because that issues some kind of irresistible invitation to the fellas to create violence, mayhem, and destruction on BART on a regular basis. All with the cooperation of the local media. That's where this story goes from one level to a way higher level. Why don't we see the latest story? But why don't we start the latest story by showing a little promotional clip that the television station runs about itself, right? About this hard-hitting news every day, 3 hours of news every day. We're on top of it. We're speaking truth to power. We're holding the powerful accountable. We're the big bad reporters of the San Francisco Bay Area. Yet you can't even ask one question about what's happening at BART other than, why are the BART people such bad people for wearing earphones and reading a book on BART?
Tonight, Prawn 4 will air 3 hours of non-stop primetime news.
At 8, 9, and 10 p.m., bringing you the major news of the day in prime time.
Prawn 4 News, 3 hours of primetime news tonight at 8 p.m.
So what happened was the victim was by the door with his phone. 4 teenagers come right to the door next to him, grab his cell phone.
The snatch and grab cell phone robbery happened at 11 a.m. Tuesday here at the Powell Street station in San Francisco. BART spokesperson Alicia Trost describes how the reaction of the victim escalated the snatch and grab robbery to a violent assault.
The victim didn't give the cell phone up, so they struggled for the phone and then came out to the platform. The struggle continues. The victim falls. The 4 teenagers basically grab that phone, run up and out of the station so fast.
This is not the first snatch and grab robbery involving teenagers targeting BART passengers this year. In fact, Trost says 4 teenagers robbed a passenger of their cell phone this past weekend at the Ashby BART station in Berkeley.
We do have cell phone snatchings. They are a reality all over the Bay Area. I hear about them at coffee shops and malls, but also on BART because people get distracted. They'll stand and just have their nose in their phone, and I understand, the trying to pass the time, but when the doors open, that is the time we want all of our riders to be very aware.
Because these cell phone thieves are juveniles, the only description BART police can provide is that they were all males, and they were all able to avoid officers here at the BART police substation as they got away. BART police investigators are checking surveillance videos to see if there's a connection between the 2 cell phone robberies involving teens here at Powell Street and the Ashby station in Berkeley. In San Francisco, Hazik Medyoun, Prawn 4 News.
So that reporter couldn't say, where are the videos? You got cameras on every BART train. Got cameras all over the station. Where are the videos? Now this is how we roll on this video channel, minds.com. How we roll is, we know the common sense answer, but the common sense answer, the one that makes the most sense, is not. That's not really how you do it in the newspaper or media business. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something because that makes the most common sense. So the most common sense answer is, the reason that BART won't release the videos is because the videos show a whole bunch of black people committing these crimes one after another. Boom, 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 boom. But we wouldn't report it that way unless we knew that was the case. We wouldn't report it that way unless we had an actual BART official talking about why they won't release the videos and how not releasing the videos is putting a lot of BART riders in danger. This video is part of the Holy Grail.
And joining us now to talk all things BART, we have BART Director Deborah Allen with us. Thank you so much for being here. And Deborah, I understand you represent Contra Costa on the board of directors. Now, as you go about riding BART and speaking with BART riders who want to tell you their concerns, what are they saying about safety on BART these days?
I think people are genuinely concerned. They are fearful about the stories that have come out about the recent attacks, the assaults, the thefts. They're concerned.
Yeah, we've got the April 22nd assault. That was the 40 to 60 teenagers. We've got the June 28th, 4 teenagers, and then June 30th, 10 to 13, teenagers, all iPhone, cell phone robberies. And you're saying people are nervous. Are they happy, or are they satisfied with the kind of information that BART is disclosing about these actions?
I've received a number of requests and comments from riders to ask me to press for the release of the video of these incidents, and the reason for that is they want to see for themselves what's going on the trains, and they want to learn from that and determine how they can protect themselves a little better and be less vulnerable to those types of crimes on the trains.
Now, we've heard that BART has said that it's because there are minors involved, and that's why they're not able to release the videos. Is that your understanding?
Right. Originally, the April attack, the BART did say that because they were minors involved, and involved in addition to that, the investigation, when something is under investigation, they are not required to release the video. But I've since learned that in that April attack, there was a 19-year-old who was arrested and detained who is not a minor. And so there would be reason for at least the video of that person to be released.
Yeah, and you would think maybe they could blur the faces of other folks. So if it's not because they're minors, because we know at least one of them isn't, what is it?
Well, so I asked that question recently, asked why can't we release these videos? And the answer was initially that, well, normally cities don't release videos of these types of crimes. And I said, yes, but this is BART. You know, people are sort of trapped in this train for a while,
right,
and they have a right to see what could potentially happen. And the next answer was that to release these videos would create a high level of racially insensitive commentary toward the district. And in addition, it would create a racial bias in the riders against minorities on the trains.
So they were saying that, and I assume the implication is that these crimes, or at least some of them, have been conducted by minorities, and so they don't want to release the footage because then that would somehow cause
a racial bias.
A racial bias?
Right.
Did they say... So if it were a video showing white teenagers robbing someone, we would have the video by now? Is that the implication?
That is not a question I asked, but that might be a good question.
Wow. What about the passengers? What about their rights to, as you said, protect themselves, see what's happening so they can know, like, if there's a place that they should sit or other ways that they can prevent these things from happening?
Right. I think this goes back to priorities at BART. It's something I often talk about on a wide variety of subjects. What is the priority of BART? Is the safety of the passenger, of all passengers, is that a lesser priority than the racial bias issue?
Look, I appreciate the station doing this story. BART withholding surveillance videos of crimes to avoid stereotypes. Okay. I appreciate Melissa breaking the story on her very, very soft news program. And I appreciate the woman from Costa County. Okay, that's all good. That's a start. But this story was more than 6 months ago. And the story is so soft. The big story is BART officials are conspiring to withhold, to conceal this rash of crimes by the fellas and their lovely ladies on the BART system. That is a fact. That is a fact confirmed by cops and riders over and over and over and over again. And now, you know, they kind of have, when you get a story like this 6-8 months ago, everybody kind of has to creep around it. Everybody has to walk on eggshells because the possibility that you might say something to offend the sensibilities of the liberal ruling class in San Francisco is way more important than protecting the actual people who ride on BART. Yeah, that's what that last interview just said. And has anything happened since then? Has that woman from Contra Costa County, has she done anything to get these videos released? No, and since then, BART has been nothing but seeing more and more episodes of black violence and criminality directed on the passengers. Again, what puts this story into the stratosphere is not the fact that a couple people got their cell phone stolen. What puts this thing way up there is the fact that the people at BART are well aware of it, and they even confessed why they're doing. They even confessed why they are in denial, deceit, and delusion about what's happening on BART. And they even said they just don't want to make the black kids angry.